This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. If you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to their store and they'll know I sent you there. Alright, well, we're about to jump into another ranked draft for Core Set 2020. Before we do, I want to remind everyone my content is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can click on their logo below and it'll take you to their website if you're on Twitch. Link in the description below on YouTube. Both cases, they'll know I sent you there, and you can find lots of great products there, so check them out. Now, let's go ahead and jump into this draft. Well, I don't think you take Kalia. I mean, I think there might be a time when you do, but mostly, you know, she's just a really efficient creature who's not that easy to cast, though. Thanks for the follow, Adocall. Well, I need to fire up Deckmaster if it's actually working. Yeah, so things just aren't going to work out for you in terms of making her actually work in your deck, either because it's hard to cast her, or you just don't end up with enough angels, demons, and dragons. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's between Chandra's Outrage and Murder pretty much always wins in that contest, I think. It's just a really, really good removal spell, even better than Chandra's Outrage. Neither of them are very splashable either, so that makes it easier, I think. Murder kills everything, no questions asked, and it's hard to say no to that. Pack one, pick one, especially in a pack like this that doesn't have a bomb or anything like that in it. Okay, so, you know, Meteor Golem, I like having one of in a lot of decks, not necessarily all of them in this format. Rabid Bite's a good removal spell. Scuttlemutt is good at, you know, helping you fix and ramp, and even can mess with color hosing or, you know, protection, and that's cool. But yeah, this pack doesn't really have an overwhelmingly obvious next pick that we should be taking or anything. Yeah, so I could go with the removal of Rabid Bite. I think I'm kind of leaning towards Scuttlemutt. I think it just allows more flexibility. Rabid Bite's nice, but yeah, let's go with the Scuttlemutt. The Golem, I mean, I guess maybe I can see that, but I think it is just too... Most decks in this format don't want a 7-drop. Some of them do, but most of them don't. And when you do, it's great. I mean, I like the card a lot, but yeah. Agonizing Siphon here, probably over, reasonable red cards. Yeah. So, we'll just take the removal spell. Okay, here I think we'll take a shock. I think it's worth noting, people talk about quote-unquote keeping you open, but, like, you should just always be open, regardless of what your picks are. So let's say we picked a colored card there. Doesn't matter. If the packs end up going in a different direction, we should still be open, anyway. Now, the nice thing about taking an artifact there is that you're going to play it in any deck you end up in, and that does have some bonuses, but the whole idea of staying open is just something you should always be doing early, regardless of what color the cards are that you pick. But yeah, we're taking a shock here. Okay, well, I like Audacious Thief a lot. It does combo with Goblin Smuggler. There's another Meteor Golem. Leafkin Druid's nice. I think I'm going to take the Thief. Yeah. Alright, so, I mean, this is a pack of mediocrity if I've ever seen one. Could take a black card in Blade Brand. It's perfectly reasonable. It's probably what I'm going to do. I mean, the other cards in other colors here just aren't pulling me in any direction. Griffin Sentinel, Inspiring Captain, Greenwood Sentinel. Like, they're fine, but they're not that good. They're definitely not anything I'm interested in, really. I think Unholy Indenture is pretty terrible, Aerocom. Sure, I mean, I get it. You can put it on your opponent's creature. You gain control of it when it dies, but it just requires so much setup, and, a lot of time it's not even worth it. Most of the time, it's not even worth it. I'd rather have Blade Brand every day of the week, basically. Yep, we'll take the Blade Brand. Okay. All right. Well, there's a Lavakin Brawler still here. Ferocious Pup is good too, but I think I'm going for the Brawler here. I mean, we have to end up with some elementals for it to be at its best, but that's not unlikely. Black doesn't have very many. It does have one. I think Yarok's Fenlurker is an elemental, but and there's a rare one, of course, mythic rare one. But yeah, I think it's still the better. I think it's still going to be better than Keldon Raider in most cases. So. All right, so here would I rather have a Vengeful War Chief or a Keldon Raider? I think the War Chief. He's a little clunky, but he's pretty serious. Like, I've been reasonably impressed with him. Thank you for the follow. Kudos. Yeah. Let's go with the War Chief. Okay, another Lavakin Brawler. They do get better in multiples, essentially, because there are elementals. Okay, I like Pack Mastiff more than the Cutthroat here. Okay, so don't think we'll be playing Heartpiercer Bow, even if it is bonkers, Philip, as you pointed out, in alongside the black-red Signpost Uncommon. I still not like it very much. Now, these other cards aren't in our colors, but I'm not mainboarding Heartpiercer Bow 99.9% of the time anyway, so I could just take what the best card is in case one of our colors dries up, and I think that's Thicket Crasher. So. Alright, I guess we'll take a Scorch Spitter. I mean, it doesn't look impossible that we're an aggro deck, right? I mean, we could definitely end up there. Okay. Well, I guess Gorging Vulture. It's a perfectly fine card. Not one you really want to be taking here. Yeah, I think a Crasher is a possible splash. I don't know if I'd ever splash it in most decks, unless if I end up in a blue-red deck, then maybe, yeah. But yeah, this would be a pretty miserable pack for pack one, pick one too. I mean, I think you take the Wave Crasher, but after that, Thicket Crasher's fine, Gorging Vulture's fine, Winged Words is fine, but you don't really want to see his first pick. But yeah, I'll take the Vulture. I do like Boneclad Necromancer a reasonable amount. Red cards here aren't very good. Necromancer, it's pretty good at going wide. Yeah, Dragon Mage wheels because you don't want to play him 99% of the time, I don't think. At least I don't. If you're a control deck and you're desperate for a finisher, he can do it, but letting your opponent reload their hand every time he hits them is a little risky. You can also mill them out, of course, but that's the flip side. But, Cryptic Caves is also a thing. But I think we take the Necromancer. I think it's a perfectly reasonable pick here. I think Silverback Shaman and Thrashing Brontodon are better. But I think we're pretty much locked in on black. I'm thinking about taking a Cryptic Caves here because, like, Daggersail, Aeronaut, and the like certainly is not awe-inspiring. And, I think our deck right now can get away with playing a Cryptic Caves. Now, that may not be the case by the end. I mean, I guess I'll take the Aeronaut. Yeah. Aeronaut. Okay, I think we want another Gorging Vulture most of all. This is a pretty strong pack for white, huh? But yeah, we'll take the Gorging Vulture. Sanitarium Skeleton. Now, it gets good in a world where you have lots of ways, or a few ways even, of taking advantage. We could also take Windscarred Crag, which would make it really easy for us to splash white between it and Scuttlemutt. We don't have a reason to splash white yet, but it would make it easy. Destructive Digger's alright. I'm kind of leaning towards the skeleton just because it enables so much. The Epicure, you know, we do have, what, 2 ways of gaining life right now? 3 ways of gaining life. So the Epicure might be interesting, but I think for now we'll take the skeleton. Okay, so we have another Audacious Thief here. We also have a Bird Grabber. We do already have 3 flyers in our deck, so that matters, but I like Audacious Thief a lot, so I think we're probably just going with it. Drawing cards is really good. What we really would like are some Smugglers. That combo is one of the really good common combos. Okay, we take a Bone Splinters here. We did just pick up a Skeleton. I think we'd take it anyway. Like Abomination and Blight Beetle are okay, but they're nothing special, right? So Bone Splinters it is. Okay, so do we want a 6-drop or a Bird Grabber? I think I'm a little more interested in a Bird Grabber at this point. Yeah, we're low on 2 drops, and it's a reasonable one in our deck. Ringleader. Definitely don't have enough goblins for you, right? We've got 1, 2 at this point. We need like 5-ish. The other picks in this pack are not... We don't really want a second Blade Brand, so I think I'd take a Ringleader here, and maybe he gets into our deck depending on how these picks go. I think I need a 2-drop enough that I'm just going to go with Prismite here. Alright, we'll take another Scorch Spitter, but I think ideally we're not going to be running it. Yeah, here's an Epicure. Act of Treason. Another Aeronaut. Okay, so we got a rare that's on color, who is perfectly reasonable. People, I mean, if you just expect this to be a 3-mana 1/1 with Flying and Death Touch, like if that's your baseline expectation, that's a pretty decent card. It's not amazing or anything. We could have had 3 Meteor Golems in this deck. That would have been wacky, huh? But yeah, I mean, we'll see if we actually run Scorch Spitter. I'm going to put it over there for now. So we have another Gorging Vulture. We have a Meteor Golem and an Embodiment of Agonies. I think with the Gorging Vultures, the Embodiment is probably a little better. So I think that's what I'm going to do. What we really, really want to see at some point is Goblin Smugglers. We saw one early. We didn't take it, but we really would like them now. Our deck's going to be good with them. So probably the Scorcher here. It has a pretty high ceiling, but I really don't think it's that obtainable. Like, you know, in Limited, its ceiling is basically probably that it's a 3-mana 3/3 with Flying and Death Touch, and that's a pretty high ceiling, but it's not like insane or anything. So would I rather have a Scorcher or a Cutthroat? In terms of removal, I mean, we're doing all right. We're not doing incredible. Yeah, the Scorcher is good with our 2 Brawlers. That's true. Yeah, that's what I'll go with. We have like a black-red go wide deck, which I don't think is supposed to be a thing. So I like having 1 Soul Salvage most of the time, but I think maybe I need 2 drops enough that maybe I'd rather just take 1. We don't have enough. I don't think we have quite enough elementals to make Embercat better than a second Pack Mastiff here. Because in terms of elementals, we have our Scorcher and our Brawlers, and that is it. Yeah. So I'm going to go with another Mastiff. Okay, here I think we go with the Outrage. Spitfire would be nice, but a good removal spell is welcome, I think. Okay, Pack Mastiff number 3. Yeah. Probably won't have to run that Prismite in the end, thank God. Yeah, we'll run a Digger. Grab a Digger. Anyway. Right, Pack Mastiff number 4 over first Fathom Fleet Cutthroat, I think? Probably. And I think we'd rather have a Keldon Raider. Yeah, Scuttlebutt is going to help us with our mana, but it is kind of funny that I don't think we're going to splash anything. Yeah, I'd rather have a Raider here. Yeah, and I'll take a Fathom Fleet Cutthroat finally. Reckless Airstrike. Blade Brand. Vampire. Vampire. Okay. Deck seems pretty good. Definitely on a weird kick lately where I don't seem to be getting very many rares. Like, you know, we do have the embodiment, I guess, this time. Okay, so we need to trim some stuff. I think Prismite's an easy cut. I think Blade Brand might be too, but let's look around a little more. We're not desperate for Scuttlemutt, that much is for sure. Do we gain enough blood to run the Epicure over these guys? I'm gaining enough life, that is. We've got the Siphon and 2 Gorging Vultures, and that's it. I think that means these other 2 5s are just going to be better. We could think about Active Treason, but this deck, I think to really maximize Active Treason, you need to not only be an aggressive deck, but you need to have a few sacrifice outlets, and we only have 1. So Active Treason isn't really something I'm super interested in playing, just because it's not usually good unless you're just winning the game on the spot, basically. Unless you have enough sacrifice outlets, and we don't. So yeah, I think we cut Epicure Blood. Probably an Aeronaut. We didn't get any Smugglers, which I think would have really tied our deck together. It's good with Pack Mastiffs. It's good with Audacious Thieves. And then it's good, you know, with Lavakin Brawler too. So I'm a little sad we didn't get to smuggle at all, but it's probably okay. Should probably cut a 4. It might just be Keldon Raider. It's either Keldon Raider or Fathom Fleet Cutthroat, I think. I mean, there's something to be said. You know, our brawlers aren't that good, you know. Yeah, I may cut the Scuttlemutt. Which is kind of sad because it was like our second pick, but then we didn't splash anything. So there you go. Yeah, that's probably an easy cut. But I still need to cut at least 1 4, I think, to feel satisfied here. I kind of wish we'd gotten a mass pump spell, because our deck goes wide pretty well, but yeah, it's not really going to matter a whole lot. Raider or Cutthroat? I mean, the Cutthroat can be a removal spell, and that's great, but it's not a lot of the time. And it doesn't have as good of stats as Keldon Raider. So, yeah, I think Cutthroat is where we go. We still have 2 more cards we have to cut, and Blade Brand's probably on its way out. So our Bird Grabber can grab 3 things, which is probably enough. Could cut Destructive Digger. Yeah, we'll lose the Digger. I think that works for me. We have a few more 4s than maybe we would like, but yeah. I think 9 Mountains is right. Yeah. I mean, we do have double black on a few cards, but we have more red early cards, and we also have several red cards that are double red. So, yeah. I mean, you know, hitting double of either of them isn't going to be that hard with a 9/8 mana base, so. All right. This is the first time I think I've ever gotten more than like 2 Pack Mastiffs. So we didn't get a Soul Salvage, which makes me kind of sad. We passed one at some point, I recall, for something, obviously. All right, I think we'll keep this. I mean, if you're on the play with Audacious Thief and you can attack with it just in a way that your opponent can... Trading is the best they can do, you feel pretty good. And your chances of doing that aren't super low. So we're up against Aggro City, I guess. Oh yeah, that's fast and painful. The question is, do I want to trade my Thief for a Trailblazer if given that choice? I probably would have, but I wasn't given the choice, so nah. Okay, so I think we attack here. You know, it does continue to lower our life, but definitely worth drawing a card. And... trying to decide if I want to play... what I want to play here. I think it's the Vulture. It sets up the Necromancer to start slowing them down, and it gains his life, so... of course, Embodiment of Agony's got milled, but we do get to gain 3, so I like that part. Alright, so yeah, I think... oh no, they have mana up, so they can... yeah, so I think I want to block still. I think I will block Scorch Spitter here. Okay, you know, the thing about Fathom Fleet Cutthroat is it is kind of nice with Audacious Thief, just because you can set up turns where your opponent's like, oh good, I can block it, and then, you know, you can basically say, no, you can't. I think we do attack with our Thief here. Okay, so I think we go with Boneclad Necromancer here. Exile their Scorch Spitter. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, we feel like we kind of have to chump block at this point. Okay, let's attack with our Thief again. So, I think we play our own Brawler. So I think if he attacks with a Brawler, I triple block. I could consider just chump blocking. Yep. The Scorcher does buy us time, that's for sure. Unless they give Lavakin Brawler freaking haste. Yeah, I think we're going to take this risk. They have a trick. Obviously, we're in a world of hurt. If they don't have a trick, it works out pretty well for us. Okay. Not quite a trick, so but it's basically one for what we were talking about, and now we're in a world of hurt. As I thought we might be. So I could kill the Trailblazer, which would help us out a little bit. Kind of leaning towards Gorging Vulture and Audacious Thief. And now let's go with the Scorcher. I think we're in trouble here. Yeah, so we'll block this. They can hit us for 3. Yeah. Oh no, never mind. I was thinking it was only +1/+1, but it's a heck of a lot more than +1/+1 right now. Alright, so now we go Agonizing Siphon on Trailblazer. No attacks. We need our murder. Come on now. There we go. Well, kind of seems like they might be out of gas. I have to find a way to get enough power out there to more than chump block this guy, and that's no easy task right now. Yeah, it's definitely not worth just taking the damage. It's too risky. Okay. Play the vulture. And the thief. End our turn. What are the chances they have yet another trick? I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? If they have another way to blow us out... I mean, we survived the first time. If they blow us out again this time, I think we're screwed. Okay, good. They did not blow us out. That is good news. Okay. I'm going to play the Raider and discard the Mountain. And I'll hold on to that. Okay, so... we're on the offensive finally after lots of blocking. The life we've gained has been invaluable against this deck. Like, we'd be long dead. What's left in our deck? Alright, we got there. That was an interesting game, just because like we had such a dangerous thing we had to weather. And we finally did, and then they started flooding, so... shock. It's always shock. Scampering Scorcher is pretty good against Raging Regisaur, just in the sense that, you know, they're not going to be getting through for damage. But he is kind of a challenge. We need to draw our murder, basically, or we're kind of screwed. But he will devour their hand. they did discard a Sanitarium Skeleton right now, which was probably smart. But yeah, Regisaur can be very hard to beat on turn 3. It's doable, certainly. It's just not easy. We can actually triple block him now, so not the worst plan. But I don't think I'm going to. So they are tapped out. Yeah, I still don't think it's worth triple blocking. I think we just block him. Take 4, this becomes a 5/5. Yeah. That's not so good. So I think we Agonizing Siphon, Sorcerer, and end our turn. So, he did eat up their whole hand, but, yeah, we're still not... I mean, we need a backup plan after we do our crazy blocking to really have a chance here. Alright, so we're going to take a huge hit here. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we're just going to take the 7 here. Okay, it's not completely useless. Not useful either, but are we dead no matter what we do now? I think we are. I think we are. So it is useless because they can attack us for... Yeah, these will both be 4/4s. I can only block... Oh no, never mind. I can survive another turn. But I have to block right... Never mind. No, I am dead. I think I'm dead no matter... Yeah. Yeah, that was... Rotting Regisaur is not easy to beat early. I've done it before, but not, you know, here. Oh, no, we do survive. God, I'm stupid. I was thinking these were 5s, but they're not. So, we actually have a little bit of a chance here. Just a little bit of one. We'll go to 2. Now we're dead. See, I was already foreseeing the next turn. That's what it must have been, right? Yeah, turn 3 Regisaur, like, if you kill it right away, or even in our case, like, if we didn't have to kill it right away, but maybe we should have killed it earlier, but the number of blanks we drew would have killed us anyway, even if we'd killed the Regisaur early. We just, yeah. We did not have much of a chance. All right, I do think this is a keeper. I feel like I've had so many 2-drops get shocked in this format. I haven't done it to someone's 2-drops in a while. They're not going to play one either, but that's kind of okay, I guess. Mastiff. Okay. What I wouldn't mind is if they like leave up mana here for Bone to Ash. Like, I would definitely play around that. All right, can't play around that. So I could attack here and pump my Mastiff, but I think I'm just going to play Scorcher in my turn. I don't think I triple block Octoprofit if they attacked me there. No, I probably do want to shock that. Yeah, so I think we just take 3. Should I want to be shocking that Ember Cat? I don't know. I mean, it's most likely it's no longer as super. Like early on, it's really useful because you can play like a turn 3. You know, the 2/4 who gets bigger for each elemental. So yeah, I think we just play our War Chief in enter turn. Then we have Murder, Shock, etc. sort of ready to go, which will also make our Embodiment of Agonies bigger in the long run. Well, too bad it doesn't work where they do damage to me so he gets too big right there. That'd be funny. Okay, so maybe we do go for a triple block now. You know what? We do. Okay. So I think we play our Brawler. And I'm going to go ahead and shock this Ember Cat now. And attack with my Mastiff. So right now, Embodiment of Agonies is a 3/3, so we're kind of in business. If Pack Mastiff dies, it gets bigger. And if we murder, it'll be bigger too. Note that when it comes into play, that's when it checks the counters. It's not a creature that gets bigger sort of progressively, as some do. He just checks once, and that's when he comes into play. Ooh, Gorging Vulture can help set him up pretty nicely here, too. So let's attack with our Brawler. Then I think I play Vulture and then Embodiment, which is just 2 awesome flyers, you know. So attack. It's no Goyf. Yeah, it's sort of a Black Tarmogoyf, but yeah, the key word there is sort of. Are they going to use a trick? We already have a 4 in our graveyard, don't we? Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so let's play Gorging Vulture. He's a 5/5 now. Let's hope they don't have Convolute, huh? That would make me real sad. They have Convolute. Oh, he's supposed to be a Come on. Yeah. Well, I'm glad he survives Flame Sweep at least. That's not cool. Alright, so we're gonna attack. Play a Pack Mastiff. Leave up Murder. Their block makes a lot more sense now when they blocked our Lavakin Brawler there. So, I think we just go ahead and murder this guy. Well, I guess I'm glad I did. Yeah, that sucks for me. Okay. Yeah, I'll trade with the Ember Cat. It is still a race I win. Especially because we also just drew a Pack Mastiff. Don't have a kill spell, please. I don't think that's going to get you there. What are you going to do? Another Smuggler's not going to give you lethal. We wish we had a Smuggler. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So they can attack me for 7. If I don't block at all. Good job, Embodiment of Agonies. Yeah, I think the fact that they gave it Flying and Death Touch is great. I think that's what makes it so... It's a decent limited card, always. Even if you have 0 Gorging Vultures, like... I just always think, if this were a 3-mana 1/1 with Death Touch and Flying, would I play it? And I would. Now, it has a more downside than that, because sometimes you just can't play it because you have nothing in your graveyard. But it has way more upside than that, too, so I think it kind of evens out. This is a good hand. Double Pack Mastiff can result in lots and lots of early damage in some cases. Probably not in this case. Thanks to this guy. Do I trade my Mastiff for this Vampire if I'm given the choice? I think I do. Oh, no. They just 2-for-1'd us. Wow. That hurts. How'd you get your embodiment up to a 12/12? You had cards with 12 different mana costs in your deck? In limited? Not really sure how you swung that. Man, that sucked. This just doing what it did. Yeah, I think we just take this for now. That's aggressive. Alright, so I think we attack. We're not going to be blocking that. discard what they already know we have. Ooh, well. We were going to draw all 4 of our Pack Mastiffs in the top 16 cards of our deck, and they had to go and be meanies like that. So yeah, definitely trade now. Definitely worth it there. So Embodiment of Agonies is already a 2/2. That may just be worth it. I think it probably is. Oh, it does count different colors. You're right. That is how it works. 12 is still a lot. In my book, anyway. I think everybody's attacking. I guess I could have pumped my dude once, but I think I'll be okay. We'll hold on to this land for now. So, we don't want them to have a spider. That wouldn't be very much fun. If they don't... yeah, we'll take 3. I'm glad he's on the ground. Oh, that's really good. I think we actually want to use it to kill the vampire. I always forget I can damage my opponent with that. It wouldn't have made a difference there, but that is something to remember. Certainly. Embodiment of Agonies helped us get there back-to-back games. Wasn't nearly as scary that game, but like, you know, 2/2/2 flyers isn't easy to deal with if you don't have any flyers or reach creatures. Alright, this seems decent enough. Don't have anything to do on turn 2 right now, but, you know, it's probably okay. Morning, MTG LaSalle. Ancestral Blade's pretty sweet. Not, you know, arguably the best non-rare 2-drop, non-rare mythic 2-drop in the format. I don't know. It's definitely up there. It is just real good. Wait, what just happened there? They decided not to attack me. So, because I'm greedy, I'm going to play Audacious Thief with the plan of finding a way to get in for damage. I don't understand why they would both not play land and not attack me there. I mean, say they didn't have a land, sure, but why didn't they attack me? So, we could be really aggressive here and use Murder on the Sentinel, and I don't think that's a terrible plan, given that we have a bunch of flyers, too. Oh, I actually don't have to be that aggressive, just kidding. They can't block him well no matter what. He either bounces off one guy or trades for the token, both of which work for me. Yeah, so we're going to play our Brawler here, especially because we have Scorcher now. Yeah. Vampire the Dire Moon makes me pretty sad in terms of our previous plan. Question is it still worth playing the Scorcher? Or do I just play like 2 Pack Mastiffs here and pass my turn? Kind of leaning towards the 2 Mastiffs, yeah. They're interesting attackers when they're both in play. Make each other massive. And themselves. Oh, that's really good. Well, if this works out, I'm going to be pretty happy. Looks like it does. And now I think it's perfectly okay to attack with everything. Hello, Marpletti. Pretty good, pretty good. Make each other Mastiff. You're right. That is what they do. Yeah, we have 3 different mana costs in the yard right now. Should we draw our embodiment? So I could go for a murder and just attack. That's probably pretty good, I guess. Yeah. I consider just attacking and threatening to pump my Mastiffs, but I feel like we've got the tools to push the remaining damage through that we'll need. I think somebody's dying. Or not quite. Now somebody's dying. Yeah. Let's do this. And attack with everything. If they don't block the Pack Mastiff, you know, they have to put up with a lot scarier stuff. The potential for a lot more damage, I mean, on a future turn. Yeah, I probably need to play a flyer here. In an effort. I mean, if I can play Mastiff and Bird Grabber, I think I'd be pretty happy. And I can. I mean, what I meant was Gorging Vulture and Bird Grabber. So 2 gets through here no matter what. I mean, I think I just attack again. So I actually think I pump my Mastiff and then just play Gorging Vulture here. Yeah. So Gorging Vulture's lethal on its own. Yeah, our, how big would our guy be right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least a 6/6. I think maybe bigger. What we don't want to happen right now is for them to gain life. Oh, they did grab a flyer. That is obnoxious. Okay, so I think we just attack with everybody again. We've got to block the flyer. They go to 1 here. Then I think we go Bird Grabber. Pack Mastiff. We're in good shape if they don't kill our flyer. I mean, we're in pretty good shape even if they do, but we're in better shape if they if they don't. Uh-oh. Well, we do still control a flyer, but so do they. So that's annoying. I think it's worth attacking with our Mastiff here. They have to block it one way or another. And he can kill anything with just 1 pump, so yeah. Chances are good the Vampire just blocks it, I think, but I think that works for us. Then I think we play Keldon Raider. Discard a Swamp. They're walking a tightrope over there, but I don't like it because You know, they're black-white. They have grindy cards. Like, another Soul Salvage would be a serious problem right about now. Have we played the other 3 Mastiffs? Yeah, we have. It's funny. Okay. Well, they are making our lives difficult, aren't they? Where's our shock? We do have 15 cards left, so shock's in there. I think that's all we have that does 2 direct damage. But murder, did we already play murder? We did. Crap. Bone splinters would be good. We have 5 attackers now and they have 3 blockers, so we may be able to push through lethal finally. I think we can. Wait, no. We only do 1 if we attack with everything. However, they do have to lose stuff, so it might be worth it. Oh, man. So they have to block everything. They have 2 4/4s who can just, like, own. And a 2/1. Our bird grabber gets owned. Man. Thanks for the follow, Jay Morris. This is a hard decision. I mean, I think the smart thing to do here is attack with Keldon Raider and Pack Mastiff, and that's it. It thins out their board a little. They have to block both of them. They have no mana untapped. They can both kill anything that blocks them. So I think that is the sort of middle ground here, the safe place to be. Yeah. Yeah. Works for me. Four dead Pack Mastiffs. Shock, Bone Splinters. Come on. I need one of you. Embodiment of Agonies would be pretty good with a graveyard this massive, too. At some point, we can block the Griffin Sentinel with our Bird Grabber if we really have to, but I don't really want to. Top 10 3-color spells is probably something I'll do at some point. Kasowski. That pacifism on our Gorging Vulture was so sad. Made me so sad. It's amazing how gaining 1 life off their vampire has made, like, all the difference. You know, given their life total. Well, there's Bone Splinters. I say we go for it. You know, the tricky thing here that I was about to do, I was about to Bone Splinter sacking my Vulture because it has pacifism, but then my Bird Grabber won't have flying, so, yeah. So we have to do it this way. So we target Griffin Sentinel, sacrifice her Skeleton. Do they have God's Willing or something? I'm gonna cry if they do. Okay, good. They don't. All right, up to 4-1. Pretty good. Yeah, Bone Splinters or Shock is what we needed to hit. Embodiment of Agonies probably would have worked too. I could have activated the grabber first, but in the end, it's actually probably slightly better to do the skeleton because I had all the mana anyway to just get the skeleton back. But yeah, I could have done the ability first. That's true. I think it's a keep. 2-drop and a couple removal spells. Double for both colors. Good old Scorch Spitter. We're getting a pretty good hand into place for an aggro deck. Like Agonizing Siphon's great against them. Boneclad Necromancer's great against them. Anything that can sort of stonewall them. Trying to decide if this is worth doing the trade. It probably is against a deck that's probably mono red. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Okay, well now we have even more of a reason to start trading with things. I think we just play a Bird Grabber here and plan on using it to trade with the Digger. Ugh. I think our plan's still the same, but that does make our lives harder. Come on now. It's been lagging on blocks lately. Yeah, that's not good. I kind of was hoping we'd draw something we could play right here. I think I'm just going to Agonizing Siphon the Scorch Spitter. Then next turn I can play the Necromancer, and I think we'll be stable by then, depending. Well, harder to stabilize against that, but... we can kill it eventually, so... let's exile their Destructive Digger. So we can murder the Smuggler if that's what we need to do. Man, and that even makes it go to the graveyard. That's, I mean, the exile. That's sad. Right, so we definitely block here and go to 8. So I could play Packmastiff and Murder, but I think just playing Lavakin Brawler is good enough. Okay, and now we are going to murder the Brawler. End our turn. Let's hope they don't draw anything. Oh, God. They drew a Smuggler and a Bird Grabber. Kidding me? The Smuggler's the biggest problem. Alright, so our embodiment's gonna come down now. It's kind of tempting to try to make it huge, but at this point, the size is plenty. So, yeah. I thought we were gonna stabilize, but they just... you know, the fact that they reloaded with that Ringleader makes it very difficult for us to do that. Unfortunately. Okay. So they probably have a way to kill us here. But I say bring it on, I guess. Take 3. Bone Splinters is pretty bad against a deck like this most of the time. What's the other card in their hand? Just an Infuriate. That actually kind of works out. Ugh, not when we draw that, though. I mean, we do still survive one more turn, but barely. So I think they're going to get us. Bone Splinters is so bad here. Oh. They can't actually push through lethal now without another creature, so there's that. Or removal spell. Either one would work. So now what we need to do, and that we're desperately hoping we do, is draw Gorging Vultures to gain us life. And they can also block Scorchers, so... Ah, there it is. Yeah, that Ringleader is what really beat us. Like, you know, you hope aggro decks run out of gas, and they pretty much had, but then they drew 2 cards off that Ringleader, and it was just like... Not easy to weather that storm. A couple Gorging Vultures would have gone a long way. Okay, solid. Man, when they play a 2-drop and then it's too big to be shocked, that never feels good. Yeah, they definitely mono red goblined us, that's for sure. Okay, they have a scary amount of mana. That's never a great sign. What is a good sign is it looks like I'm going to draw a card off my Thief no problem here. I guess I could still play something. They don't, though. Okay, so... Tempting to play another Thief, but I think maybe playing the Vulture is the smarter move here. Bladebrand? Yeah, Bladebrand. Yeah, that's nasty. I haven't seen someone use Season of Growth with Bladebrand just yet. So I could shock it. I think I'm going to. That. Then I think we play another Pack Mastiff. It's hard to make Ringleader work in this format, but you can do it, as our opponent showed us. I've seen it work a few times. Okay, well, we're going to lose Dagger Sail, Aeronaut. And I think, honestly, Scampering Scorcher is not that good right here. So we'll lose both of those. keep the creatures we know we can already play, you know? Yeah, I think that was the right thing to do. I mean, shock to keep our guy alive is probably worth it. I mean, especially because it's Audacious Thief, who's going to pay us back, you know? So. Alright, so... do this first. Man. Packmastiff City. Honestly, I think I'm going to do this once and then play another Packmastiff. Because they represent a pretty real threat for our opponent. Hello, Terrible. I'm pretty good. How are you? I have a scary pack of dogs out there. Right. Glad you woke up early enough, Terrible. I'm a morning person, obviously, given when I stream. Oh, I mean, it's annoying, but, like, it doesn't really matter here. You know? Like, it just doesn't. Yeah, we're gonna pump them twice. We have anything else to do with our mana right now. Oh, and it also kills them, so... you know. That's the other reason to do it. Packmastiffs for the win. Ooh, Godless Shrine. Embodiment of Agonies, when you got a couple Gorging Vultures, has been nice, and so have the 4 Packmastiffs. My guess about our last opponent is they had a couple of crazy, like, Villas, high mana cost dudes, and they just didn't draw them. Okay. It's like they're glued together, you know? If one is playing Soulmender, it makes me always wonder... I mean, I feel like they must have a bunch of life gain payoffs, at which point it gets to be kind of a problem. I mean, if you don't have enough of them, it's kind of like whatever, but it's, you know, not that unlikely that they have them. So I think we attack here. I mean, trading for Blood Burglar's fine. That's what makes Packmastiff so good, is that on its own, a 2-mana 2/2 with that ability, already playable. In multiples, it gets to be kind of silly. So we got 2 really good removal spells in our hand, of course. Yeah, we're just going to take this, actually. We can kill it with Agonizing Siphon if we decide that's what we want to do. Yeah. Okay, they're definitely a life gain deck, right? Ooh, that was a pretty good draw. So I think we just go Agonizing Siphon on Daybreak Chaplain. Attack with both our Mastiffs. Now we can just shock the Burglar, so... So if they have a trick, we have ways of messing them up between Shock and Chandra's Outrage. Okay. Shock it is. I think we just do the 4 and then play a Bird Grabber here. That's actually only 2 anyway. Yeah, I think I'm willing to make the trade here. Finally. I was less willing with my Mastiffs. All the life gain you've ever seen. At some point soon, we should probably start pumping our Mastiffs, right? But so far, it hasn't really been necessary. What? Okay. You know, up until this point, I've had some questions about our opponent's decisions, but now I have a big one. Rule of Law is basically unplayable in this format, and pretty much in any limited format. There's probably some exception out there, but I can't really think of it. All right, pump, pump, and pump. Yeah, if you have the bird that grows when... Yeah, there are several cards that make all the life gain payoffs worth it. If you get a critical mass of them, this is what your deck ends up looking like. There's our embodiment, but we're just going to go... I think that just gives us lethal again. Don't play Rule of Law Unlimited. Certainly not main board. I mean, there's no sideboard in this format, which means, yeah, don't play it at all. Right, so this will be our last one in this draft, one way or another. Whether we win or lose, since we're at 6-2. Alright, I think this is a keep. This is where Embodiment of Agonies is, in fact, worse than a 3-mana 1/1 Flying Death Touch because you can't actually play him. So, it's also annoying he doesn't count lands. Like, what's that about? I guess I technically don't have a mana cost, and that's the rationale there. But it does say non-land on the card, so clearly they felt like they had to write that down. You know? Poor guy's gonna get shocked. No, didn't happen. Well, we are off to a very slow start, but our opponent appears to be as well. Alright, so we're going to go with our Agonizing Siphon. Means we can play our embodiment next turn. Ugh. And maybe we have to? This is when it's not nearly as impressive. But it can trade with Thicket Crasher. The fact that we're just we're drawing all these lands is a big problem, though. Yeah, I think we have to. Plus, I can actually go like this. Bye-bye, Embodiment of Agonies. It's been real. I think you're just gonna die. Yeah. Ouchies. Yeah, alright. Bone Splinters, Target Thicket Crasher, Sacrifice, Goblin Bird Grabber. I didn't have that Bone Splinters earlier. Would have made my embodiment a lot larger. Too big to shock, anyway. Pack Mastiff, the non-embodiment MVP of this deck. Oh, good. Real good. So they can recast Shock here.
Chandra, you need more control.
That probably seals the deal.
Burn.
We are still at 18, so it's not like we're completely toast, but we're so behind on board and so reliant on not drawing lands that like even one land drop in the next like 4 cards pretty much means we lose. I was going to say, it's less likely if they don't attack me with their spider. Why not attack with the Spitfire? Like, what are you afraid of? Well, too bad this doesn't damage Planeswalkers, huh? In the old rules, I think it would have, right? You could have redirected it. That would have been an awesome 2-for-1. But they had to go and change how that works. Really?
Find your fires of passion within.
Not going to go the more aggressive route of making elementals? I think I would have. Especially because I have no board presence, you know? Why is the Spitfire not attacking me? They could be doing so much more damage. Guess I'm glad they're not. It increases our chances ever so slightly. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and kill the Spitfire here. Yeah, it should say that. Chandra's Outrage on Chandra's Spitfire doing 2 damage to Chandra Acolyte of Flame. That would be nice. Okay. Alright, there's a land. That'll do it. There's no way for us to come back. So. 6 and 3 is pretty good. 6 and 3 is pretty good.